with your palate cleansers. Show me what you got.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Audionots, your pop culture palate cleanser. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the mysterious REN, Mr. Rendivision himself, creating his own reality. What's happening, my man?
What it do?
What is going on in the world of Ren?
That's a good intro. I dig it.
Thanks. I like that. I'm like Rendivision. Just came to me just now. Wow.
Nice. We're full of hobbies, and I picked up a new hobby.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think this is perfect. So let's start off with the amazing hobbies that we've picked up. Go for it.
Because, I'm a big gamer, right? I play a lot of games on my PS4, on the PC, etc., etc. And then we're
etc.
How come GameStop is trending all of a sudden, Thought it was going to go bankrupt or something, Who's going
to GameStop?
And who's trading in games? Everything trading in is you're getting gypped. And so we found out that it's because of stocks.
Yeah, it was somebody on Reddit. So probably anybody who's been paying any attention to social media by now has seen the Reddit bros created their own Wall Street Bets subreddit. And one of the smarter ones said, hey, listen, the big boys of the stock world, they do these short stocks where they have these stocks are really low. And they don't expect the regular Joes like you and I to jump in on these short stocks and grab at them and then build it up and then dump it ourselves. And so Reddit bro said, hey, everybody, we're going in on GameStop. It's totally short right now. It's undervalued. Let's get everybody to put their money in. So about 1.5 million Reddit guys jumped in, including you and me, and we all started bidding up all these different. They started with GameStop, and they jumped on AMC. What were the other ones?
BlackBerry, Nokia,
Bad Dogecoin. Yeah, a little bit of some cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of like you can mess with any other stock, but when it comes to GameStop, how dare you?
How dare you? But what was genius about it is the guy basically beat the people that put the game together. So, and they got mad. They didn't like that. So the hedge fund old guys, the old billionaires of the world were like, what the hell's going on? And they got all upset because the little bros like you and I, we all got our Robinhood apps. We put our money in and we started bidding up these things that shouldn't have been bid so high. And they started like fighting back because, the original bro went from nothing to $22 million worth of GameStop stock.
But did he sell though?
I hope so, because they kept saying one of their favorite things is to the moon, and they were going to try to take this thing all the way up to $1,000 per share. Last time I saw it got to about 380, then it started falling back because what happened is hedge fund bro said, no, I don't like this. We're the only ones that get to manipulate the market. And they started shutting things down. So they put enough pressure on the little apps like Robin, and they made them stop it. So you couldn't even buy it. You couldn't even buy it anymore. And so that really hurt the ability for people to keep buying more and more shares and pushing it up higher and higher.
Yeah, that's why it went down because when it's off the market. No, what was that term? Off market.
Yeah, off. Oh yeah. So after hours.
After hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we you and I have both learned all this. See, Ren and I didn't know jack squat about investment stocks like this. We both have 401ks and do that kind of stuff. But when it came to like actual day trading, like a couple of day trading wolves of Wall Street, we had no idea. And so we've learned a lot. And one of the things we learned, we're West Coasters, and the Wall Street market is open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. East Coast time. And so we've learned that, that's a 3-hour difference for us. And if we buy stuff afterwards, it really affects things.
Right. So how much did you invest?
So
your whole bank account?
Yeah, I did $100. So I did $100. I spread it out. I never actually ended up getting any game in GameStop myself because by the time I jumped on it, it was already at like 350. I think it's lower now. But I got some AMC. I got a bunch of cryptocurrency. So I got some Doge.
Dogecoin. Shout out.
Yeah, I got some BlackBerry. Yeah. So I got those bad boys, and I got some regular ones. I went some Pitney Bows. I got some like names you've heard of. I got some different medical. Oh, I got a bunch of marijuana. I got some information that the Canadian growers are a good one to invest in. So I invested in a couple different Canadian grows.
Yeah, me too. Got one.
Yeah, so it's still pretty good. I was real up on the first day before the big guys got in, and then I've come back down to reality, but I'm still doing okay. So it's a waiting game. I understand that this isn't an overnight type thing, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that my long term for me, I invested in MGM, the hotel.
Nice. Yep.
I feel like once the vaccines, kick in, Vegas is going to open, right? And one of the big ones is
the MGM,
and they just you could do sports betting. So I think that's going to be big.
I think so too. I think that's a good investment for you. What were you paying per share?
$26.
Nice.
I'm hoping it'll go to like hundreds.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, hopefully you'd want to find the next Netflix or the next Tesla or the next, whatever it might be, the next Bitcoin, and you get in early and you wait. It's the GameStop thing is fun and everything, but that's kind of a flash in the pan, right? It happens really quick, then it goes away.
So rare.
And either you were in on it or you weren't. Mostly the rest of these stocks, even for day traders like us, you just have to invest your money and hang out and wait.
Yeah, I think for us, we just got to be patient and look for the long-term goals and not try to do overnight. If it happens overnight, let's go.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna buy a whole studio just to podcast or something.
Yeah, we'll have to start another show, and we could do our own. This is the stock hour with Audionots, and we just talk nothing but hot stocks.
Yeah, a bunch of BS.
Because we don't know what we're talking about at all. We just read whatever Reddit's saying.
Yeah,
we learned all of our stock knowledge from 18-year-olds on Reddit.
Yeah. Start your kid off with just buy one for him.
Yeah,
let us sit.
Pick one. It always reminds me of that episode of Friends where Monica realized that there was a stock that had her initials, and so she invested in it, and then she was always rooting for the Monaco stock, whatever. She didn't even know what it was, but it had her initials. She's like, go because, and I gotta be honest, because of that episode, one of the first thing I looked up was my initials. I'm like, is there a stock? And there was not, unfortunately.
No? Oh, I should look at mine.
Yeah, you look up your initials. I mean, it just seems like good luck to invest in your own self,
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think last time I checked, the Dogecoin was up 2 cents.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so the Dogecoin was so cheap. I mean, it was 0.0002 cents or something. So it only took a handful of dollars to get hundreds of this currency. And the goal with it right now is just to get it to $1. If it gets to $1, it's that would be good. That'd be very good for us.
We're selling, baby.
Yeah. As soon as it hits $1, I'm selling $1 per share. That's all I needed to get to.
Once it hits $1, we're gonna get that podcast mixer thing.
Oh yeah, we were like, boop, 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 boop. We're getting pretty technical here. We're getting looking pretty good.
Yeah, I got. So for my camera, I think I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
Because then when first time I was doing it, I'm always getting that the focus box around you.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell do you get rid of that? So it turns out that the older Canon cameras, you just can't do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you update the firmware, it might help, but for me, I'm using my Canon EOS RP, and you're using a SL3.
Yeah.
So those are the newer ones, and once you update the firmware, you're able to do it. And
yeah, because I never had any issue. You were telling me, okay, when you get your camera set up, make sure you check this box, that box, and this box. Yeah. I thought, okay, that makes sense. I'm just gonna plug it in though before I check any boxes. I plugged it all in. I'm like, oh schniz, it totally just worked.
Yeah, because if you look at all their tutorials online, like YouTube and stuff like that, everybody's using the HDMI video converter, right?
They all have older cameras,
or stuff like that. But these new ones, you just plug in your USB-C or micro USB, and it just works as long as you have the Canon utility.
The Canon utility app. But yeah, you're completely right, because mine was literally plug and play, and so no special converters going on, nothing tricky.
Yeah, so you could move around like this, and it's always unfocused now. And like I said, we don't use any HDMI. It's called a clean HDMI out, but we don't actually use HDMI. I'm using a USB-C.
Yeah, me too. And it looks fantastic. The only downside, the reason the end user, so for all of you at home watching on the YouTubes, you're like, well, their video doesn't look that great. It looks like 720. It's because of Zoom. I've been researching though, and I think I might have some options we can play around with. But yeah, Zoom downgrades our video quality from 1080 all the way down to 720. So that's why we don't look like we're 10K like we do when we're just looking at each other in real life.
Yeah, because we don't make that money to pay for Zoom. So
yeah, and I'm not paying. I don't even think the paid for version has better video quality. I think we have to switch to something else. But I've seen there are a handful, because I actually asked it on our Twitter account. I asked all of our podcast homies out there, I'm like, how do you guys do it? And I got some tips. So I'll mess around with it, and maybe in the next episode or two, you guys will see how crisp and clear we actually do look.
I think the pay for you at 1080.
Oh, really?
Because like our paid for account that we use,
real work.
Yeah, I'm actually editing it 1080.
And it's 1080. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. We'll watch. What we do is we'll just watch for freebies, and every once in a while we'll have one full 10K episode. We're like, look at us.
Yeah. Once it's like 10K, you could like join us live on Facebook. Yeah.
Come see us in full render vision.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Maybe it'll be black and white.
Oh yeah, just to start, and I'll make really bad 1950s sitcom jokes. Yeah. So I think that's the perfect segue. I think we should segue into the healthy stream. So I think we start with WandaVision on Disney Plus. We talked about the last 2 episodes, or the first 2 episodes, right? Is that correct?
No.
Or no. Have we talked about any episodes?
None of them.
None of them, because we had a week off.
Yeah, because we did our podcast before
it came out, started,
and then we skipped a week, so we
missed. You guys are in for a treat then,
because the first it was the first 2 episodes that came out, and then we got the third one.
Okay, so we've seen 3 episodes. By the time everybody listens, they'll have seen 4 episodes, and I have a feeling there's a lot of good schniz getting ready to happen in episode 4.
Yeah,
but let's give our feelings, our reviews. There may be some mild spoilers, or there might be some major spoilers. But let's talk WandaVision. Go ahead, Ren. What's your thoughts?
Well, to begin, they kind of warned us that it was going to be different. It's going to be different from a lot of Marvel shows or movies that you've seen and you know. And so they gave us, sitcom vibe, black and white, old school. And so I was expecting that, and it was just like a sitcom. And so there was a lot of Easter eggs, but me being the Marvel nerd that I am, I have no idea what Easter eggs were.
Right.
And I just watched it for what it is. And I thought it was okay. You get to see Mary Kate's sister, what's her name? Elizabeth Olsen. And
Elizabeth, yeah.
Vision, they get to act like showcase their acting skills and
And fun fact for people that don't realize that she is the younger sister of the twins from Full House.
Yeah. It's funny if you look at photos, right? Yeah. You see them together. They're like Mary Kay and Ashley. Yeah. It's kind of like if they fuse together, they make Elizabeth Olsen.
They make Elizabeth. She's like 10 times the actress. She doesn't seem to have the eating disorder that the other 2 have. Yeah. She probably weighs what both of them weigh together because they're like little skeletons. But yeah, it's pretty amazing that she comes from that stock, because she is I think what this is showing is what a great actress both her and Paul Bettany is.
Yeah, because like I said, you get to see a whole different side of them, and they get to showcase their acting skills. And then I really enjoyed that part of it, but then they don't really reveal that much of the whole arching story,
right?
And you're just kind of like wondering the whole time,
Right. So I think you had 2 different kinds of viewers going into this. You had those expecting Marvel. Like they're gonna see Vision zooming around, shooting things, and doing all of like tricky shit. And then you had the people that were paying a little bit more attention and knew that this is more of a thinker. I saw one hot take where they said this is Marvel's Joker. Not that they're the same, but that they're both really risky takes that are different. And I thought that's fair. I'll buy into that. And so, yeah, what you ended up getting was, like you said, really good acting as they participate in these like sitcoms, and they start in the 50s. So the first one is kind of a I Love Lucy, I Dream a Genie type episode. Yeah. And then I guess actually that one's more I Love Lucy than anything. And Then the second episode
I
is kind
Dream
of
Genie.
Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. It's very bewitchy, very I Dream of Jeannie, because then she's doing all her things. In fact, in the second episode, the magic thing was amazing. I thought that was so well done.
Yeah, because it was just like Bewitched and I Dream Genie, the whole technique and everything.
Yeah, the way they did it, the kind of the jokes that they used, everything was. If you've ever watched any of those old shows, this is what it's like.
Right.
I was really impressed with that, and I thought that the way they've crafted it together, and they're just teasing the littlest components of what might be happening each episode, because you're just like, well, this is just a sitcom, but then there's these like just hints of like, oh wait, was that Tony Stark stuff? Was that Stark? Was that Strucker? Was that Hydra?
Yeah, but this whole 2 episodes were like a Easter egg bros dream, right? They're just like pinpointing, trying to find, like, be the first. Like, oh, I caught that, sort of thing.
Yeah, and there were very specific Easter eggs, other than a few obvious ones where, like I was saying, they touched on like Hydra, they touched on Stark, they touched on Strucker, they touched on a few different things, and then Sword. We're just like, oh, okay. So now as the show progresses, we learn that Sword, the sister company to Shield, they're the space, AI looking after type group, is the ones that are kind of trying to figure out or help. We don't know. Are they helping Wanda? Is Wanda causing this weird TV reality, or is something else messing with her?
Right. That's why
Do you have any hot takes?
That's why it's so intriguing, because you don't really know. And then I think if I would recommend this to a viewer to watch, I would say you should wait until everything's out and then watch it as one whole sitting.
That was the thing I thought, that this show is one of the few that really would have benefited from just putting it all out at once, because it starts to make more and more sense as it goes. Even by the third episode, you're starting to go, okay, I'm following along a little bit. But it does give you time. I mean, having it come out once a week, to go online and get on the YouTubes and the Reddits and be like, what the hell? What the hell? And then someone smarter than us says,
explain to me.
This thing means that. And you're like, oh, okay. Like when the helicopter came in and it had a Sword logo on it. It's a little toy helicopter.
Yeah, those are Sword.
Yeah, maybe that was a real helicopter that tried to penetrate into her weird reality bubble that she's made, and that's what happened to it.
I don't remind me. The Vision's dead, right? Thanos like killed.
Yeah, Vision's real dead.
So so it's most likely is Wanda creating all this.
Yeah. So the theory,
protect something.
Sure. The one working theory is she's having a mental break. Either something's attacking him. There's been some ideas that might be Mephisto, or I forget the other evil villain that they said might be the one. There's a couple different evil villains that could mess with her mentality, but one of her powers in the comics is she can in fact alter reality. And so this might almost be like a protection thing. Maybe when she grew up, she watched a lot of different
sitcoms,
old TV sitcoms.
Yeah, because she's from Scandinavia.
The idea they're saying is maybe she is in fact in a town, and all the people in the town have been sucked into this reality. Like she's forcing them to participate, almost like puppets, but they're real people. And that the only one that's not actually real is the Vision, or Vision's dead and she's like straight up making his kind of dead corpse move around and do all this stuff, which is, I love the way darker choice of what might be happening.
Right.
And it's really interesting. So Sword is on this outside of this bubble, trying to get in and help her, because we've heard him call out to her and try to tell her some things and help her. And so Monica Rambeau is the Geraldine character, and she's actually the same character that was the little girl in Captain Marvel.
Right.
She ends up going, according to the Marvel comic books, grows into her own superhero named Photon or Spectrum, and eventually has her own stint as Captain Marvel. So she might have some powers. So it could be that this bubble that maybe Wanda's creating, where this world is happening, and she's kind of captured these poor folks that have to participate. Maybe Monica Rambeau has enough powers at this point in her life that she's able to get in, and she's kind of snuck in as an infiltrator.
Yeah, because we can see by some of the scenes where something happened and Wanda didn't like it, and she's like, rewind and redo it.
No, like the scene, I think it was the end of episode 2, where the beekeeper comes out from the sewers.
Yeah.
And you look at the back of his back, he's got a Sword logo on, so he's clearly a Sword agent that's trying to sneak into the bubble. And she's like, no, and just rewinds that shit, and that's it.
So it's kind of like she's a computer with firewall after firewall after firewall. And they're
Yeah,
trying to get it.
she's spam filtered him.
Yeah.
Spam, spam, spam. But in the third episode, it starts to get really good because then she gets pregnant and she starts to give birth to her twins. And we've also learned, at least from the internet telling me about what the comics say, because I gotta admit that I did not read a lot of WandaVision as a Ute. In fact, I would say I read 0 issues of WandaVision or Wanda, or whatever the hell it called, the Scarlet Witch. But they're saying that she has 2 twin boys, and she has the 2 twin boys in the show, but that she actually made them from Mephisto's DNA. So like her magic and his stuff, whatever, they didn't actually have to get together for her to make the twins, but they said they could have remastered it this time. So maybe she created them on her own, but they are in fact real. That she created these 2 new living creatures, which are both going to be mutants. And the big working theory would be this is how they're going to introduce mutants like the X-Men into the Disney version of Marvel.
Nice. Because what do they call them in the Marvel?
Like Inhumans or
something, like, I don't know.
God, it was something stupid. It was,
yeah.
They have they're special, but they're not mutants. Don't say mutants.
I remember when they said that, like, wait, they're not mutants?
Yeah, because they didn't own the term at the time. They couldn't say it. But thanks to the Fox acquisition, they can say mutant all they want now.
Nice. Yeah, I think like how we were talking about Doctor Strange, this is kind of like a pilot for a bunch of stuff, sort of thing.
I hope so. The working theory is this is going to tie a lot of things into the new phase of Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Like you said, Doctor Strange, maybe the new Spider-Man and all the Spider-Verse stuff, X-Men, Fantastic Four. So all of a sudden it opens up all these avenues, and this is the beginning stage of it. And that makes it real exciting.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, you should, if you're not in a rush to watch it, just wait till it comes all out and then just watch it at once. Because
if you're not like a big Marvel nerd, you probably enjoy it more if you get to see it all in one sitting.
Yeah, because just like what you were saying, in the comics or somebody told you, as an average viewer, I might not know that stuff, So
I saw one like 15-year-old TikToker that was pissed. I came across him on Twitter because I don't use TikTok a lot. I do have TikTok, I'll admit, but I don't go on there. Yeah. So someone reposted it, and this kid was like losing his shit. He's like, F you, Marvel. This is so stupid. This is just a dumb 50s sitcom. You've tricked me. I don't love you anymore. He he was mad. And so you don't want to be that guy. So if you think that you would be that guy by this kind of show, give it till it's all out. Ren's right.
Yeah. Just wait.
For sure. So also on Disney, I have just one other little tidbit. We talked about in the past, Raya and the Last Dragon. And it's exciting now because originally it was supposed to be a movie theater movie. Now it's coming out on Disney Plus on March 5th. So that's not too far from now. But unfortunately, Disney is still doing their premiere access. So it comes out on March 5th, but it's going to be $29.99, just like Mulan was.
I see a trend here.
What's the trend? Tell me what the trend is.
Mulan, all Asian movie. Raya, and they're all Asian voices. I don't know, man.
Dude, it almost seems a little racist. I don't know what's happening here. We'll have to find out when Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi or whatever the hell it's called comes out. If that comes straight to Marvel and they charge $30, I'm like, you sons of bitches.
It's like, I understand that they want to, like, it's kind of reverse, right? To where rather than being in theaters, they're charging you because they want to make a big deal out of it, Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, how is HBO able to release all these movies and yet you guys are still charging us like $30 for it,
Yeah, I was kind of hoping once HBO said, hold my beer and just start putting out the Wonder Womans of the world, that Disney would have rethought their what they're trying to do and said, you know what, maybe this isn't good business, strategy. We should back off of this, but don't buy it. I think that's the key. Mulan came out a month and a half after you paid $30. So it's like, if you really want to get them to quit charging us $30 every time a movie comes up, don't buy it.
Yeah, it's like a lose-lose, right? It's like, if I don't want to have Disney keep charging us for that every time a movie comes out, But at the same time, if I don't do it, they're like, "How come you're not supporting your Asian movies?" You know, like,
Right.
like, I don't know, man.
You're in between a rock and a hard place. Me, on the
Yeah.
other hand, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna wait. Because you know what? Who's seen Mulan? You did. You know who else? I did. Who paid $30? Not me.
Not me, man. But there's a lot of controversy with that movie too.
Which one, Raya?
Yeah.
Why?
It's I don't know. I don't really know where I stand on this, because one of the controversy is it's cool to represent Southeast Asia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the main actress that's voicing Rhea is that chick from Star Wars, friend Lisa Anne Marie or something like that.
Anne Marie, yeah, something Marie.
Yeah, and she's Vietnamese, so she's Southeast Asian.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the dragon, which is like voiced by Aquafina.
Oh, Aquafina, yeah.
So
she's
everyone's
a good
like,
rapper, by the way.
Yeah, so everyone's like, if you're gonna represent Southeast Asians, why not get all of Southeast Asian actors and actors to voice the movie? You know, rather than because there's a whole there's a difference between Southeast Asian and like Eastern Asian stuff like that.
Because the 60-year-old white producer doesn't know the difference. He's like, okay, I feel pretty good. A couple of Asian people, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. See, that's why I don't really know how I feel about it, because me as I'm a Southeast Asian.
Sure.
It's kind of like I'm happy that there's representation in the big screen, you know,
right.
And I just want the best actors and actors to play the part, because that's their job, you know. Their job is to portray that character, to portray who they're playing, you know.
Right.
So there's a lot of people like are having, you know, if the character is deaf, we need a deaf actor to play that, you know, sort of thing. It's like, for me, it's like, it's a profession. If they could play the part, and they could play the part, you know.
It's hard for me because I don't know if it's my place to say which way it should be.
Yeah.
But I agree. It gets a little tricky. I think that it is important for movie studios to try to cast the right people in the right parts. But at the same time, there has to be some leeway, right? If you're going to have a blind character, are you only going to, hire a blind actor?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that come into it. So, we just need to be progressive. You know, when they're casting and they're thinking about it, they need to think progressively, and really maybe survey the general pop. You know, if this is the group we're representing, let's talk to them. Let them have a few opinions before we just decide for everybody. You know, maybe that's the way to go.
Right. It's kind of like, sorry, Charlie Cox, you're out of the picture.
You're not really blind. You can't
you're not
be
blind. Yeah.
So yeah,
for me,
it's tricky.
Yeah, for me, I just kind of lean towards just find the best player for actor, actress. You know,
right.
If you represent that well, and then you're representing it, especially if it's animation, you know.
Sure. Animation is even more tricky because now you're just talking about voices. But we've seen like from Big Mouth where you had the white actress voicing the black little girl, and she said, "You know what? That's not for me. I'm not going to do that anymore." Right. And I get these kind of things, but it is, we live in a tricky world where we want to like do everything PC, but we don't need to go so far that it just becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's kind of tricky because that's like black and white area.
Yeah, literally.
But then this time it's kind of like a minority within the minority, and it's kind of like, so what do you? I don't know. It's like I said, I could see both sides. I just don't know where I stand. You know, I don't know. But
yeah. And like I said, I don't think it's my place to even have an opinion. So I'll listen and say, okay.
But yeah,
whatever everybody else decides, I'm good.
I'm excited for the movie. I'm gonna watch it. Probably gonna wait.
Nice. Over on Netflix, I didn't have a ton on Netflix this podcast, but I wanted to do, because you told me off air that you saw a movie that I haven't seen. I was wondering if you can give us a quick, like 45-second review of the movie Outside the Wire, starring Anthony Mackie, I believe.
Oh, that one.
I just wanted to, because you were telling me you saw it. I've never seen it, and I want you to either sell us on us or tell us to move on with our lives.
Move on.
Okay.
Very cool action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I think they probably got the same people from Extraction.
Yeah.
Really cool. Made Anthony Mack like really tough.
Oh, is his acting any good in that movie?
It's the same. He's
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah,
he's a decent actor, but he always kind of plays a version of himself.
Yeah. So Anthony Mack plays a prototype of a AI with a robotic / synthetic human.
Yeah.
and so he's like stronger than the average human. And so, of course, he goes rogue, sort of thing.
And that's the entire movie.
Yeah, and then he's trying to do basically the whole like moral of the story is like I'm gonna sacrifice one small thing for the greater good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna kill thousands to save millions, sort of thing.
Okay.
And
Some
so
straight up Thanos logic.
yeah, so it's. But then the only thing that bugged me was the side character that was with him was kind of annoying. It's kind of like, what do you want, man? I don't know what you want.
Like, who's this guy and why is he here?
Yeah, so the whole plot was kind of lame, but the action seems really good.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10 nuts, what is it rate?
For me, more like a 4.
Oh, that's pretty lame. I can't remember. What did you rate Extraction? What would you say it is compared to Extraction?
What did I
Thor?
say?
I don't even remember. What would you say right now, though? Nobody's gonna go back.
Thor
and check.
for me was like a 6, maybe.
Okay, so Extraction's the better of the two movies.
Yeah, because like Extraction had those chasing scenes that were like amazing. It's like I never seen some kind of that kind of.
Because that movie was made by a stuntman, filmed by a stuntman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the funny thing about this movie is like he's a captain, so
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, he's the sidekick. So I was like, hey Cap, hey Cap.
It's like foreshadowing the fact he's Captain America.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Genius. Okay, so moving over to Hulu. Hulu. I'm gonna do a quick review because I don't have a ton for Hulu either. But I watched a movie we actually talked about not that long ago on one of our tasty trailers, and I kept saying, well, maybe I'll pay money for this if it comes out. But guess what? It showed up on Hulu for free. So I watched the movie Save Yourselves, and if you remember, that was the one with the couple that went to this cabin to get away from technology.
And there was this weird
furry balls. And these weird furry balls showed up and started attacking the earth. So I'll give everybody a quick synopsis and then my review. But the basic plot is these two hipsters say, oh man, we don't communicate enough. We're in love, but we don't communicate. We need to take a week off from technology. So they have a friend that loans them his cabin out in the middle of nowhere. They go out there, they ditch their phones, they ditch their laptops, they cut off everybody. They send notes ahead of time. Hey, we're not gonna be available, but we're gonna do this. And so they're chilling and they're kind of doing their hipstery stuff, enjoying the cabin or arguing once in a while about their love. And all of a sudden, this furry ball shows up, and she's like, "Was that Ottoman thing always there?" He's like, "It had to have been, right? I don't know, maybe." And then things start getting weirder and weirder, and they start seeing stuff flying in from the sky, and they're like, "What is happening?" And so she starts to get jonesing for her phone, and she secretly packed it. So she goes and gets on her phone. They're so far out, his phone doesn't work, no bars or anything. And so the furry balls start to fly in from space, and everybody's like, what is happening? So she gets on her phone and she has 67 missed voicemails. So she starts listening, and this is where it gets a little creepy. It's all from friends and family going, run, or did you get away? We tried to go to Yankee Stadium, but it's been taken over. And this kind of thing's kind of creepy, make your skin kind of stand up on itself. And as the movie progresses, they've learned that the Earth's been taken over by aliens, which happen to be these little fuzzy furball things that drain ethanol. They survive off ethanol. So they suck all the gas out of stuff, and that's how they get powered and stuff. And they progress, and I don't want to give too much away. Anybody wants to watch it. The movie itself is fairly cute, but it has no ending, zero ending. It's like they wrote this entire movie, and they're like, how do we end this? I don't know. Yeah, and so in the very end, you think, what's happening? They're going to escape. And it leaves it totally wide open, so you don't know, did they escape? Did they just die? What happened? And then it just over and the credits rolled.
Part 2, baby.
Yeah, I don't think so. So Save Yourselves, the first half, if you just want to watch the first half, it's kind of cute and kind of indie, like an indie alien movie. I give it a 6-7. When you throw in the ending, it falls way down because nothing pisses me off than non-conclusions. It goes down to a 4.
No closure at all.
No closure.
At least give you something,
anything.
Yeah.
And the ending was real weird. I won't, if anybody wants to watch, I won't spoil it because the ending you got to see it. And so I went and checked the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and just the real people, not the professionals. And real people were all like, God damn it. How did that end? What's happening here?
Remember those YouTube videos where how Game of Thrones should have ended,
Yeah, exactly.
They need to make one of those.
So here's my review of Save Yourselves. Save yourselves from watching this movie.
Nice.
And I really like the main actor too, John somebody or another. He's on that favorite show I like of Search Party, and I'm rooting for this guy to become the next big thing. He's very, I don't know, charismatic, but this is not it, not it.
Didn't you say he was like the
Um,
next like Seth Rogen or something?
yeah, he don't look anything like Seth Rogen, but he gives me those kind of vibes. Like you could put him, like you could take Seth Rogen out and replace him with this dude, and be like, okay, I get it. This guy has a presence. It's kind of like that real laid back, like funny presence. So I hope so. I really hope he catches on. Over on Prime, Amazon Prime gave us a second trailer that we talked about the first trailer to Invincible. Invincible is that cartoon that's made by Robert Kirkman. It's voice acted by Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, Glenn.
J.K. Simmons, Sandra
Oh,
and Seth Rogen, just like we were talking about.
yeah.
Perfect segue. Gillian Jacobs, we know her from Love and Community. Zazie Beats, Mark Hamill. You guys probably heard of him. He's in a little movie called Star Wars.
Mark Hamill. I bet you he's the bad guy.
Yeah, probably. He does the Joker too for Batman.
Yeah.
Jason Matazukis, Raffi himself.
Wait. That's his name?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Coach Steve or whatever he's our
Yeah.
was he? Is it Coach Steve on Big Mouth? And so I just saw the casting of it. It looks great. The trailer is very similar to the teaser trailer they'd given us early in the year, where they start off like throwing the baseball around the world, and then they give us a little bit more about how he's a teenager, but he's also a superhero who happens to be invincible. Yeah, it looks really good. So I'm excited to see it. It comes out on March 26th. Invincible, Amazon Prime.
I like the animation style. It reminds me of all the DC animations.
Yeah, it looks really good. And that's where DC really excels. So I'm excited that it is kind of that animation style. A few other TV tidbits that I have. Resident Alien is another show that we've talked about. They released a second trailer, and I think by the time we do our next podcast, we'll have been able to at least watch one episode. It's a sci-fi original starring Andrew, starts with a T.
Tudyk?
Yes, thank you. Yep, that guy.
It's
As the
Andrew?
Resident Is it Andrew?
I thought it was Alan.
Alan. Yes, Alan Tudyk. Yes, final answer. Starring Alan Tudyk is an alien that's pretending to be a doctor in a little local town. And the second trailer, they definitely rearranged it so it was less silly and a little bit more like, ooh, that's kind of weird and fun. So that comes out, I believe, this week. I've also started watching a TV show called The Watch, which is on BBC America. The Watch is kind of interesting.
We talked about it.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've seen 5 episodes now, and it's like kind of a dystopian, weird future thing with orcs and trolls and werewolves and all sorts of weird characters. But it's really silly. It's meant to be. It has jokes. It's all British, a bunch of really thick British folks. But what's interesting I've noticed is the editing is freaking terrible. The show itself is decent. Like the jokes are pretty good. The acting's great. The special effects are like pretty good for television. But whoever they put in charge, whoever drunk a-hole they put in charge of editing this thing, it's so weird. Because I keep thinking, did I miss something? Did I need to rewind it? Is it maybe a different cut because of it came from Europe to over here, and there's something happened. They had to make it fit our TV. And because it just jumps around, it's so choppy and weird. And I looked it up, and everybody bitches about it. So it just edited really poorly. So the show in general, I'd give it a solid 7. When you add in the editing, it's like a 3. My other couple tidbits is, did you see that George Clooney is producing a remake of Buck Rogers?
No.
Did you ever watch Buck Rogers? Have you ever seen the reruns? Obviously, both of us are too young to watch it when it came out because it's a really old Star Trek original, that timeline type star show. It was more cheesy. Like Buck Rogers was like, hey, we're shooting his laser guns and stuff like that.
So it's sci-fi?
It's a sci-fi show, yeah, because it was very much like a silly version of Star Trek. Nice. And so they're talking about George Clooney is the producer, but there's also a possibility that he might actually star as Buck Rogers. And if you ever Google what Buck Rogers looked like, you can totally imagine George Clooney as Buck Rogers. So I'll keep my eyes on that and let people know if that's what's going to happen, because I'm not interested unless it's George Clooney.
It's probably him.
Yeah, if it is, I'm down. We'll just have to figure out what channel it ends up on because Buck Rogers is a Ute. I used to watch it in reruns on Saturday morning, and I loved it. Buck Rogers is a lot of fun. It was really stupid and really silly.
Nice. The earlier your camera went out of focus and got your Punch Out game.
Oh yeah, I got Punch Out playing it back. So we got most of the video games set up and hooked and working now. So it's pretty cool. And I've had a lot of fun replaying Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and I'm pretty decent at it. It took me a while to remember how to do it, but I'm okay at it.
Ain't that game like super hard?
Oh yeah, and it only gets harder as you go because it's not really it's less about boxing as much as it is about memorizing how to tap each character. So when you whatever your opponent is, you got to know exactly which moves to make over and over again repetitively so you can beat them.
Yeah,
it teaches you patience.
Sounds like a frustration game.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And then my last TV tidbit is there used to be a television channel called G4 TV. Did you ever watch G4 TV?
With Olivia Munn?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had their own channel, and it was a channel of like technology and video games. And G4 TV is finally prepping for its return to the airwaves. And fans can look forward to our favorite shows from the old days, your Olivia Munn show, Attack of the Show, and X Play later this year. So they're bringing them back. I'm excited.
Nice.
I don't know if I would imagine that they'll probably get the good people like the Chris Hardwicks and the Olivia Munns to come back and at least like introduce this stuff.
Yeah.
But that was some good TV. I dug it.
I mean, it made them who they are now, you know?
Yeah, I know. It was their launching pad for all their careers.
Yeah.
So I think it's perfect time to take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we're going to hit you with some tasty trailers. I got a handful of tasty trailers, and then I got some news. I got some news I've been saving because we haven't been able to get to news in a while. So some of these stories might be a little old, but you probably haven't even heard of them because they're so bizarre.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, we'll hit you with some tasty trailers and a little news jacuzzi. Need affordable graphic design? VisualAntiDesign.com should be your first stop. High quality work at low prices. Perfect for every need from corporate to personal. Visit VisualAntiDesign.com now and request your free quote. And for a limited time, mention Audionots for 10% off your first project. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. My first tasty trailer is the new Coming to America trailer came out fully. So the whole thing came out because we'd only seen a teaser up to this point. And the movie comes out on Amazon on March 5th. And what I thought was amazing is how well both Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall have aged.
Like just them, though. They aged well. Everybody else kind of.
And there was, I don't know if it will be as funny because the original Coming to America was R-rated. This one is PG-13. And so I don't know if that's going to affect anything about it. But there was one joke that really got me where they were like making fun of, who were they making fun of? The one guy said something about they got a little too racist with the jokes, even though they're all black guys making fun of a black guy. Yeah. I think they were making fun of one of their haircuts or something, and it was really funny. So I'm like, okay, this might be pretty good for a straight to streaming movie.
Yeah, after watching it, I cracked up a lot. So I'm like, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have forgotten how funny Eddie Murphy used to be. I mean, he was the king. I would look forward when I was a teen to seeing any Eddie Murphy movie, but he's been so like ever since he moved to like cartoons, you know, the Shreks of the world and other things, he hasn't been real successful in his acting career. So I'm hoping this could be his comeback.
Yeah, because you can see in the trailer that he's playing multiple parts too.
And that's something that's an Eddie Murphy thing where he always play multiple parts.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, it looks good. So I'm really excited for that, and the fact that we're so close to Coming to America time, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, me too.
My second trailer is a big one. They finally released the full trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong on HBO Max. Yeah, this is another one of these amazing movies that's going to come out on HBO Max and in theaters at the exact same time on March 26th. So it's not too far away itself. And I'm not super into these movies as much as you are, but it does look freaking cool, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I just wish that theaters were open because these type of movie is
movie.
Perfect with a big screen, you know. I'm huge into the big monsters fighting movies because I grew up watching all those goddamn Godzilla versus, you know, everything. And you can find those on HBO Max too if you want to.
Oh, the OGs, so they're all there. Yeah, that might be a good warm up before watching this Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, so for me, after watching this, I'm like, this is a Batman versus Superman type of thing where
They
we're
fight
gonna
each other, then
fight
team
each
up.
other, but turns out we have a greater threat. So let's team up and fight that threat. And then after that,
Well,
we're gonna
they
go
they
about
yeah,
ways.
they start fighting until they realize that both of their moms were named Martha, which was
Yeah.
just shocking to me. I'm like, how is that the same plot? But yeah,
Who's
it looks good.
Who's Martha? Who's Mothra?
Oh my God, there it is. Both of their moms are named Mothra.
Who's Mothra?
I'm Mothra. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. And I think that from the interwebs have told us that if you look real carefully, there was a hint of Mecha Godzilla. So Godzilla, Kong, Mecha Godzilla. Sure, why not? Let's go.
Yeah, because Mecha's built by humans, and humans are always evil, man.
Yeah, so that means that Mecha Godzilla will be the bad guy that Kong and Godzilla will have to quit fighting each other to take on.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. My next trailer stars Tom Holland, and I can't remember if I sent you this one or not because we've had so much going on. But the movie Cherry. Did you ever see the trailer for Cherry?
No. Is that the
So,
one? No.
so Tom Holland, I think, is going out of his way to make sure people know that he can actually act, and he's not just Spider-Man.
Right.
And so Cherry is about a war veteran that comes back addicted to like some sort of pain pill, and he becomes a drug addict. So he evolves into a bank robber, and it kind of follows this story. And it looks kind of cool because it's actually, I think, produced by the Russo brothers. So you got a lot of superhero ties to this, but it's definitely not a superhero movie. Tom Holland does look like a really good actor as far as it goes, but yeah. So I don't know too much about it other than it comes out on March 12th, straight to Apple TV. So this is Apple TV original.
I remember now because I remember him tweeting 3/12/21.
Yes.
And everyone's like,
yeah, and we were
Spider-Man?
like, I was like, maybe it's Spider-Man, and people were like, no, it's gonna be Uncharted, and then it was freaking Cherry. I'm like, damn it.
Apple TV.
So do you still have Apple TV?
It's funny because I actually got an email from them saying your membership's been extended 3 months for free.
They did the same thing to us. So yes, we all still have Apple TV because I read this report not that long ago that they said like 87% of people don't pay for Apple TV. They can't sell it, so they just give it to everybody.
Yeah.
There's not enough content. There's no if you're paying for Apple TV, you're a real sucker. That's all there is to that. If you're one of the 13% that's paying for Apple TV, I apologize.
It's been like what 2 years, and I still haven't paid for it.
No, nor should we ever. Apple TV is not gonna give me a goddamn plug of my new iPhone. They're not gonna be able to charge me for Apple TV. That's the trade-off, guys. That's it. I draw the line.
Yeah, like look at Amazon, dude. Amazon Prime. We're paying for Amazon Prime. We get Prime Video. Like
we're paying for all this other crap. As huge Apple users, this should just be a benefit. This should be the cherry on top. Come on. Oh. And so my last trailer is called Breaking News in Yuma County. I almost said country. Breaking News in Yuma County. This one looks pretty good. It comes out actually really soon. And I think it's one of these movies that they're going to try to charge you like $4.99 to watch, but eventually it'll be free on all the streaming services. It comes out February 12th, and it stars a lot of names you're going to recognize. So it stars Allison Janney. She's the tall, skinny, older mom on the TV show Mom, and she's been on a million different things. Mila Kunis, you've probably heard of her. She's the hot from that 70s show. Aquafina, who we've already name-checked once in this episode. Wanda Sykes, Julia Lewis, which is a name I haven't thought about in about 25 years. Samira Wiley and Regina Hall, and it looks really kind of fun. So it's like one of these things that's based on a true story, and it looks as if Allison Janney's character may have murdered her husband. Now, we don't know for a fact that she murdered her husband, but it's quite possible. But what makes it extra interesting is Mila Kunis's reporter gets called to come see the story before the police even know that this guy has gone missing. And so she's reporting on it. She believes that Mila didn't do it because I think or that Allison didn't do it because I think maybe they're related or somehow. I can't remember. And there's this whole kind of like funny, like what's going on type whodunit. Did she actually kill him? Did she not kill him? What the hell is happening? So I would recommend everybody go out and watch the Breaking News trailer because it does look looks interesting, and if it shows up for free, I'll watch it. If they try to get me for a couple bucks, no, thank you.
Yeah, so it's a typical where you have to stay till the end to find out type of thing.
Oh, for sure. You won't know.
Yeah.
And maybe you won't know. Maybe it'll be like, thanks for coming, or that movie was called Save Yourselves, and they'll just stop and you will never know. You decide for yourself whether or not, they actually did it. So let's move on to the new jacuzzi. Time to dip our toes. So my first story has to do with the Galactic Federation. This actually came out right before the presidency change, so there's a lot of Trump references in this too. But former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. So this
Ooh.
isn't like some just random person. This is like a real like military person from the Israeli army. A former Israeli space security chief has sent eyebrows shooting heavenward by saying that Earthlings have been in contact with extraterrestrials from the Galactic Federation. The unidentified flying objects have not asked us to publish. Oh, excuse me, this reads really weird. The unidentified flying objects have asked us not to publish that they are here, so because humanity is not ready, said Haim Ashid, former head of Israel's Defense Military Space Directorate. That's weird that they even have that as a category. He said that Isha said that cooperation agreements have been signed between the species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars, where American astronauts and alien representatives are living together.
Wait a minute, we got people in Mars living in Mars?
In the depths of Mars, not just anywhere in Mars. Maybe Elon was sending them a car so they could have their own car up there.
Elon's trying to get internet to them.
Yeah, I know. Eshid added that President Donald Trump was aware, we'll say former President Donald Trump was aware that extraterrestrial, this is a hard word, aliens exist and have been on the verge of revealing information, but were asked not to prevent mass hysteria. They've been waiting for humanity to develop and reach the right stage to understand in general what space and spaceships are, Ashid said, referring to the Galactic Federation. The White House and Israeli officials did not immediately respond to this NBC News request for a comment. So this was a real story that real news networks actually had to cover.
So that's why, my friend, we have Space Force.
Yeah, that was the whole tie-in. Is like, did we create Space Force because of the Galactic Federation?
Aliens are orange. Did you know that?
Oh,
because Trump's been preparing this whole time. So when they meet us, he's like, look,
they're like, you're one of us.
I'm one
or
of
maybe
you.
He is one of them. Maybe he's been an alien from the beginning.
All right. Plot twist.
And we just sent him back to Mars. I mean, I don't know.
Could be. Depths of Mars.
The depths of Mars. I thought it was really funny that some random alien group's been around and then they have a nice TV ready name like Galactic Federation. It's like, thanks guys, that makes it so much easier.
Well, we're gonna make the Guardians to protect us, right?
Yeah. So Space Force, please protect us from the Galactic Federation. I think. I don't know. My next news story has to do with an attorney that has a taste for vanilla flavored lawsuits. So this guy, a Long Island lawyer, is waging a legal crusade against food makers that he says mislead consumers into believing that their products are vanilla flavored when they are not. Great Neck attorney Spencer Sheehan said that since the beginning of the year, he has filed 27 lawsuits, and I've seen this story grow. It's up to 101 lawsuits on behalf of consumers related to yogurt, cookies, oatmeal, almond milk, soy milk, cream soda, and ice cream labeled as vanilla. The U.S. District Court is seeking $5 million in damages, and this is going to be one of these cases that all of us can get on. It's a class action case. So if you look it up, you can sign your name if you've bought any of these things that supposedly claim to be vanilla flavored that aren't actually made from vanilla bean.
Wow.
It's crazy because he says that rather than using the expensive vanilla, they're using, it costs about $250 a gallon for vanilla extract. Manufacturers sometimes mix in synthetically derived vanilla, which is only $7 a gallon, and other flavor enhancers to claim that they have a vanilla flavor. So a lot of the favorite vanilla things that you're eating, you need to really look at the label to make sure that this isn't some bullshit vanilla.
It's technically vanilla.
Like sort of vanilla. Make sure they're spelling it right. You know, like they used to with cheese. When it wasn't really cheese, it'd have like a Z somehow involved.
Oh yeah.
Cheese. So my next story, though, this is a good one. This is probably my favorite one on the list. Internet. It's hard for me to laugh because I have a photograph. So all the audio nuts out there, when we're done with the story, you need to Google this and see what this looks like. And when I was researching it, it turns out you can actually buy this device on Amazon right now. So it's not only does it exist, it's easy to purchase. Internet-enabled male chastity cage has been invented. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of a chastity belt. Chastity belt in the old days is like these kind of, you've seen them in jokey movies where they're like basically iron panties. So the guys can't get none until, they get unlocked.
Yeah, it always reminds me of Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
So
I know. So I think that everybody's knowledge of chastity belts comes from stupid movies like that, for sure. So these guys have made this thing that's a male version of the chastity belt, and I'm looking at a picture of it, and it literally looks like almost like a gun holster for your dong.
Hold on, let me.
It's like a dong holster.
What do I look up?
So it's called the Cellmate. So if you look up the Cellmate chastity cage, is what they're calling it, the Cellmate chastity cage. The problem with the Cellmate chastity cage is it has a very major security flaw. Now, see, the idea of it, when they had this idea is your lady friend or your guy friend or whatever floats your boat, your lover would give you said chastity belt, and you'd put it on and it would lock up your junk, right? It would keep your junk all nice and tight so you can't use it for nothing until they unlock it. Now, you know how they unlock it? There's no key, there's no manual release. There's only way to unlock it is via the interwebs. Now, here's the problem. Because of a security flaw in the enabled male chassis device, it allows hackers to remotely control the gadget and permanently lock in the wearers. Oh my God. And so it said the only way that you could get out of said locked up chastity belt if a hacker happened to find their way into it and lock you into it is with a saw or some other like device. I'm like really strong because this thing is they're not messing around. This is like a real well-built device.
Damn.
The Cellmate chassis cage, built by Chinese firm QE, lets users hand over access to their genitals to their partner who can lock and unlock the cage remotely using an app. But multiple flaws in the app's design mean anyone could remotely lock all devices and prevent users from releasing themselves. And this thing is still for sale on Amazon right now. Even worse, as the chassis belt does not come with a manual override or physical key, locked-in users have few options to break out. One is to cut through the cage of hardened steel shackle, an operation that will require bolt cutters or an angled grinder. You think this is the grinder these guys have been looking for? I don't think it's the right one.
Damn, dude, this is crazy. I thought it's gonna be like a something you wear, like a panty or underwear, but it like wraps your junk, huh?
Yeah, it says that the fact of getting loose is made even trickier by the fact that it's shackled around tightly around the wearer's testicles. The other discovery by the pen test partners is an overload to the circuit board that controls the lock's motor. Has 3 volts of electricity in it that can shock the user's area. Oh my God! There's
like no room in that, man. What if like you get a boner or something?
Yeah, this is not the toy. This is not the toy for you. This is not the digital chastity belt you've been looking for.
Okay.
So yeah, this is terrifying. And the fact that this exists and still you can still buy it to this day is absolutely devastatingly scary.
How much does it go for?
I don't know. Look it up on Amazon. You look it up.
Because like if I look it up, it's gonna be like recommended for you. Like, no,
your wife's gonna be what the. What have you been looking at? You're like, yeah, I really want this for Valentine's Day. Surprise! My junk's in the trap. So
and only you have access.
Yeah, and some foreign hacker.
I mean, it is made in China, man.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. My last couple stories are quicker. John Mulaney, our favorite voice talent, he also is a pretty decent actor and a fantastic comedian. He's the voice of Big Mouth's Andrew.
Yeah.
I also wrote down, but I seemed to delete that. I forgot that he was also the voice of Peter Porker / Spider-Ham in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So John Mulaney has entered rehab for alcohol and cocaine. I'm like, no wonder he's so funny.
Didn't he put himself in?
Yeah, he's self-checked in because I think he realized during the pandemic coronavirus that he's spending too much time with himself. Maybe he got mail locked up in the chastity belt.
I can't get out.
It sucks because he's a good guy. So we're rooting for you, John Mulaney. We hope your rehab works and that everything comes around because you're an okay actor. You're a fantastic voice actor, and all the comedian type things you do, I like. And my last story is pretty interesting. Microsoft has patented a chatbot that's capable of simulating dead people. So this is both interesting and creepy. So what happens is they have you input all this information about yourself ahead of time. And so you basically create a virtual version. So say I'm getting ready to die. Say, oh, hey, Ren, I just found out that I have some terminal disease and I got 9 months to live. I can spend my time filling out all these questions, answering things, and this AI will basically develop my persona. And then when I'm croaked, you can type in, hey, I want to talk to Eric online. And it'll pop up and it'll be like, Eric Oldboy. And he'll talk just like me. He'll say stupid shit. And they're like, oh, that's still him. But I'm dead and in the ground and worm food. So I thought I can't decide that if this is amazing to help people cope or if it'll become a crutch for people that can't let go.
If you want to know, you should watch that one episode of Black Mirror because that's exactly what happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you're telling me Microsoft is stealing their ideas from Black Mirror? That's scary.
Yeah. Because in that one, I remember because the main actress was Agent Carter from
okay.
Marvel.
From Agent, yeah.
Shield
and Agent Carter.
I think her husband died, and in that world, you were able to do that. And so they took one step up by making it like a robot doll or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And so you're communicating with your husband that died that looks like your husband.
Oh, yeah, it is creepy. Yeah. So maybe this is that first step towards that.
Yeah, they're moving towards that, dude, for sure.
So
it sounds like Eric Oldboy. What if he looks like Eric Oldboy?
Yeah. Oh, creepy. So creepy. Yeah, that's terrifying. So these are the things that they're using with the technology. Technology has invented dick belts you can't shake off and dead people chat. I mean, what else can we come up with? We've hit the pinnacle.
Just let go, man. Just let go.
Yeah, it's terrible. Unless, of course, you die from the said digital chastity belt, you may want to come back on the chat to tell everybody that it was an accident. It was a hacker.
And then once your loved one passes too, you could choose to reunite in the digital world.
Yeah, it's so weird. So weird. Creeps me out. Well, that's it. That's all the stories I had. So if you have anything else you want to chip in before we bail on this episode?
No, I think we're good. I just got to do a lot of editing.
Yeah, we got mad editing because we had anybody who knows if you're getting to this point and you're like, God damn, that was a choppy episode. It's because our internet had all sorts of issues today. So that's life. They're using all the internet capable stuff to make dead people chatbots. So we got our little slice over here making our live people podcast. But with that, Ren and I will bid everybody adieu. Bye. Have a good time. Audionots.